Okay, just doing things a little bit differently again. I don't have my same camera right now, but we'll make it work. And so again, I apologize for the different face, eyes, whatever hopping around. So hopefully the audio and video quality is all right for today. So I'm actually really excited to talk about this today. I know I say that about pretty much every one of these, but I think today, just in light of everything that's going on, it's just great to be talking about something different. And I'm sure you know what I'm speaking about. So today, um, we're talking about movement and, how does movement and exercise tie into eating, intuitive eating specifically, you might ask. Well, when I coach, your health is never a one-dimensional thing. Your health is never just, okay, the food that you put into your body. So I'm sure that you've noticed in the past 8 videos that emotional health is, they've been more about your emotional health than just nutrition. So it shouldn't be a huge surprise that intuitive eating is also really, it incorporates how you move your body because it's all about that awareness and really listening to your body. So I'll say it again multiple times throughout this video, listening to your body is key when it comes to movement and feeling the difference between doing exercise because that's just something that you feel like you're supposed to do versus wanting to move your body. So it's a different kind of listening, obviously, than listening to your hunger and fullness cues, but it's that same skill of awareness of what your body needs. So it's just as important. So I think it's, again, important to know, as I did in a couple of videos ago, that there's been a name change to this principle by the creators of intuitive eating in their most recent release or most recent edition of their book. It used to be called Exercise, Feel the Difference, and now it's called Movement, Feel the Difference. So what is the difference between these two words, exercise versus movement, in your mind? I would love to hear your ideas. For me, movement, it just sounds less militant. It sounds like something I do maybe throughout the day, or what we call activities of daily living. Instead of, okay, I'm going to get my 30 minutes on my Apple Watch and I'm going to make sure that I get that exercise time throughout the day. I don't know why I say it like that. That's probably goes into my mindset about what exercise is. So to me, movement sounds more holistic. It takes into account how maybe my body is feeling and how, can I move it the way that I want to? So again, it's takes your mind from prescriptive to more of a holistic, whole body approach. So when I see the word exercise, maybe I think gym routines, running, really moving in a very specific purpose in mind. It's not all bad. I definitely have purposes when I exercise or when I move. I just think it's a more narrow definition. So I think movement is definitely more broad and it gives you a little bit more flexibility. So I think that was, or I know that was their intention of changing it as I looked at how they talked about their changes that they made in this most recent edition. So I think a part of that is also, the intention behind their changes. There is a lot of negative connotations for those that have dieted a long time when you say the word exercise. If you're a serial dieter or a regular dieter, exercise is often seen as going hand in hand with restriction. You need to move more and eat less. So it can be used very frequently as a way of punishing your body or trying to change your body instead of enjoying that your body is strong and can move. So that is the main idea with this principle. We have, when we have that mindset shift, there is a difference to our movement. There is more joy and gratitude. And I can promise that this is a tangible difference and something that I have really noticed firsthand in my life. And so I'll just go into that right now. We all hear how great and important exercise and movement is growing up, and that is completely true. But all too often, exercise, like I mentioned, is provided as some sort of prescription for weight loss or a punishment for eating beyond what you should have eaten or eating, bad foods. And obviously, that's all in air quotes when I say that. So I've mentioned on previous videos that I have a history of taking exercise to an extreme level. It's never been something that I had a hard time doing as far as wanting to exercise. It was, okay, I'll just exercise. I generally enjoy it, but I've frequently and most recently took it from enjoyment to I must follow this. I'm going to go too far. So and this is several years ago, I probably didn't look like it, that I had an unhealthy relationship with exercise. I didn't look like some kind of bodybuilder. So I don't think anybody would have said, oh, something's wrong with Brooke. I got compliments, which fueled my desire to keep doing it, which, it made me feel really good. Ooh, they noticed I'm a before and after. But I really did have a disordered relationship with exercise because I was so focused on how it could help me lose weight, move the scale, or, can it change how I look in the mirror? And I was lifting really heavy. I was hitting the gym or running 6 days a week, sometimes doing two workouts a day. But on top of that, just to give you a little context, I was working 30 to 4 hours a week from home. I had 4 kids at home, well, not all home at the same time, but I have 4 kids. I was full-time in my grad school program. Had a lot going on with different volunteer things in church. So to keep up with my workouts, I didn't let something drop off. I just started getting up earlier. So it wasn't uncommon for me to be getting up by 4, sometimes even earlier, to make sure that my workouts happened. And I often would say it was, oh, this is me just taking care of me. And there was probably some truth to that, but it took me a little while to realize that it was an unhealthy level of workout. So what happened is what often happens when you're over exercising is I kept getting hurt. I mean, I have had a list of injuries from the workouts that I was doing. And that's because I was ridiculously tired and overtraining. And I knew that something had to change. And thankfully, when you're injured, sometimes your hand is forced. And in my case, I had a lower back injury that made exercising nearly impossible. And I say nearly because I kept doing it anyway. I just tried to lift light weights, and I kept running, trying to do it in a way that didn't hurt too bad, all because I had a race that I was training for. And I know it sounds ridiculous looking back on it now that I kept going. I was going to a physical therapist several times a week to get through to this race. And he said, okay, I can keep working with you. We can get you to this race, but you have to stop after your race. You've got to heal. Thankfully for me, the race was canceled due to heavy rains on the day of. And I honestly wonder what would have happened to me if I'd actually done a full day of heavy trail running at a Ragnar event with the injuries that I was running under. But anyway, I kept my promise to my PT and to myself in some ways, and I stopped running after that race was canceled, but I kept lifting. Again, still lightweight, thinking, I can't stop doing everything because I wasn't wired to do that. Again, unhealthy focus on exercise for sure. So, but there was one morning, probably about a week after the event was canceled, that something was going on with my schedule, and I wasn't able to get in my early morning workout like I normally had. I honestly don't remember what it was. And so I somehow decided, okay, I'm just not going to exercise today. And I don't know how long it had been since I had done that. And it was the first day in many months that I didn't have any lower back pain. I'm not talking about, oh, it wasn't as bad. I didn't have any. And it was like the one day that I didn't work out. And so I decided, okay, this is my body saying something to me. And so I decided, okay, I'm going to take 2 weeks off completely and see if that helps my back, and then I'll, get back to it. And thankfully, in those 2 weeks, I did a lot of soul searching, and it was definitely part of my journey as I started to transition my coaching and what I wanted to focus on as a health coach, as I was actually getting my personal training certification at the same time. So it was ironic, but also helpful for me to use myself as a guinea pig of, okay, I can understand why I was getting these injuries, the overuse, and not having enough range of motion, different things like that. But the soul searching, I realized, okay, I need to also reevaluate my priorities. And so because I took those 2 weeks off, I decided, okay, how am I going to actually approach this? What am I going to put back in? And so a lot of things have changed since then. I've changed my workout routine a lot. I do still work out and I enjoy it, but it's different. And so I tell you all of this about myself to let you know that what I'm talking about now in the rest of this video, I've gone through myself. I help clients through this process as well. But this is something I definitely resonate with because I've done it and I understand the process and how hard it can be to get to that place. But I also know I am a lot happier and more balanced in my time and my rest. And I I see for myself a future of movement in a healthy way. And at the time, I just was all focused on looking good, and that I wasn't looking to the future. So I'm in a lot better place, and that's what I work with my clients to do. So I would love right now to just talk about a few signs if you're wondering personally, am I getting into that place of maybe an unhealthy exercise habit? So working out when you're sick or fatigued, like super tired like I was, feeling anxious or stressed when you skip a workout. This was a big one for me. It was like, I didn't work out today and I felt like something was wrong. Skipping social events and time with loved ones because you need to get a workout in, feeling like you need to have a really intense workout for it to count, and then maybe exercising to lose weight and burn calories. And I'm sure that one is a common one for a lot of people. So with my clients, I focus on the benefits of exercise and movement that have nothing to do with changing how your body looks or trying to lower the number on the scale. And do you know why? Because exercise is not a guarantee for weight loss. In fact, there's so much research around the benefits of exercise. That is definitely well documented. But weight loss is decidedly not one of them. But for years, we have taken those two and kept them together. Again, eat less, move more as part of diet culture that we're really entrenched in. So part of my work as a coach is helping clients really break this relationship between the two and see movement in a different light and see the benefits of exercise and movement that have nothing to do with weight loss. So for me, there's a list that I'm going to read that these benefits of movement really do matter to me. Improving and maintaining cognitive abilities and memory, increasing energy levels throughout the day, maintaining bone density and muscle mass, which really naturally deteriorate with age. Again, looking future when it comes to movement, like what do I want to be, how do I want to be moving in, when I'm 60 or 70? Reduces your risk for chronic diseases, increased level of good cholesterol and increased metabolism, a general sense of well-being and empowerment, feeling strong and feeling like you can do what you want to do, better sleep at night, reducing stress and boosting your mood. This is one that I want to mention. I don't know if a lot of people understand that when you over exercise or do something incredibly intense, you're often shooting yourself in the foot for lack of a better term, because in the area of stress, a lot of times doing really, really intense exercise for a long period of time, it's going to create more of the stress hormone cortisol, which can be damaging in so many areas when it comes to creating inflammation and different things like that. So over exercising really is not an answer for anything good. So I don't know about you, but the list of benefits, they all really matter. And I did not mention weight loss on that because all of these, the cholesterol, the metabolism, the bone density and muscle mass, all of those can happen without any amount of weight loss. So that's something I really want you to hold on to and remember. So how can you and I start moving intuitively and still make it a priority in our lives for all of the reasons that I listed? So I just want to give you a couple of tips and things to walk away with, things to make you think about. I would love for you to learn how your body signals movement. So what I mean by this is after you've been sitting, I'm sitting in a chair, do you get the urge to stand up and stretch? Maybe you feel a little bit restless, and maybe sometimes you're sore and fatigued. Just learn to pay attention to what your body is saying. That awareness goes a long way for being able to pay attention to when you enjoy a movement, when you need to take a rest day, etc. The next one is to be present in your workouts. Now, I'm probably guilty of not doing this very well. I love to kind of zone out, listen to something really good, whether it's music or a podcast or a book, because to me, that's kind of the mental benefit of movement. But there has to be an element where you're paying attention to how your body feels to prevent injury or pain. I've learned, like I said, the hard way on this one. And I'm very careful and pay attention and I've done a lot of work to make sure that this isn't happening anymore for me. So a good workout may have moments of discomfort. I'm not going to say that you're going to love being in a plank position and always be smiling, but pain is a sign that you need to stop what you're doing. You need to stretch, you need to evaluate, okay, maybe there's a problem with the exercise that I'm doing. The next one is to vary your movement. A lot of times we get into a specific routine, but variety, obviously it's going to keep things interesting, keep you motivated, but the other one is it's going to prevent injury. If you stick with one exercise, the the risk of overusing the same muscles is high, and so your risk for injury definitely goes up. So the next one is find ways to move throughout the day. I've talked about this in other lives. When you look at what we call the blue zones, which is something that researchers have looked at, people who live areas of the country that you have the highest number of I can't say this word, people who are over 100. They look at what do they do, and one of the big ones for them when it comes to movement is just the activities of daily living. They're constantly moving, they're walking to the store, they're biking, they're just getting movement throughout the day instead of just focusing on, okay, I got my 30 minutes of intense exercise and I'm done for the day, and then they sit the rest of the day. So the benefits of movement really are in moving throughout the day, taking the stairs, parking far away, just enjoying keeping yourself active throughout the day. And honestly, that's one of the ways that I think a lot of people miss out on the benefits of movement is they think it's only in those 30 minutes that they, count their exercise. You're moving throughout the day, you're getting that benefit of just keeping your body in motion. And there are tons of health benefits from just doing that. The next one is to make it fun. I cannot stress this one enough. If you hate running, stop running. Life is very short. I would hate for you to spend another day doing an activity that you dread doing. So if you haven't found something that you love, keep looking. And that goes to the next one, and that is to think outside the box, brainstorm. This is something that I have found with my clients when I say, hey, what's something that you enjoy doing when it comes to exercise? And so many of them say, I don't know. I just do exercise because I know I'm supposed to. And that doesn't help you build a habit of movement that's going to last for years and decades. So if it's something that you enjoy doing and you've been able to find that through brainstorming, you're going to want to keep doing that. So if you're struggling with this, look at what you used to enjoy doing as a kid. Did you love to hike? Did you love to bike? Did you love to dance? There are a lot of unique ways to get movement that you might not be thinking of because they're not an option at your gym. And there's so many different, even gym classes now that really have expanded expanded everyone, I think's idea of what movement and exercise can be. So get creative and brainstorm. In fact, with clients, I actually have a sheet where we go through like, what do you actually enjoy doing? And it helps them think of other ideas that are really outside the box. The next one is to make it easy. Don't overcomplicate getting into some kind of routine. Decide this is when I'm going to work out because this is when my energy is high, or this is when it fits and it works. Know what you're going to wear, and maybe even find a friend. That motivation, looking forward to being with someone, can really take movement into a different area for you, whether it's that social connection that you're craving, or you just, being able to talk through something, the emotional benefits of that. And start small. If you're not doing anything, don't say, okay, now I'm going to work out 6 days a week. That again is going to make you a really good candidate for injury or just burning out because it's just too much. So start 2 days a week and move it up once you see, yeah, I've got this. It's all about setting goals that you can meet when you first start. And then the next one is to buy new workout clothes. This sounds silly, but if it's something that you look forward to wearing or you feel supported and it's comfortable and you're not tugging at it, it can go a long way for helping you to enjoy your movement. Again, it sounds silly, but I think it does something. If you're comfortable in the clothing that you're wearing, you're going to be comfortable in your movement. And then the last one is key, and that is rest. This is one that I have learned the hard way, the importance of rest. Having built-in rest days throughout the week. It doesn't have to just be one time a week. It could be 2, it could be 3. This is a process of getting to know your body and what your body needs when it comes to rest. You'll notice that some days, even after you get going and you brush off the cobwebs that are really normal when you're like really early into a workout, maybe you're still dragging. Perhaps you're hating a workout that you normally enjoy. This is a sign. Maybe I need to adjust today's workout to really meet my needs. Maybe I need to rest. So this happened to me just last week. I think I've mentioned that I love trail running. I think even just on this video, it's really my happy place. It's a mental thing for me in a lot of ways. It's also great. I get a good workout and I just really enjoy being outside. I do a lot of thinking. I do a lot of praying when I'm on, when I'm trail running. So it really is something I look forward to. So last Friday, I was so excited. I hadn't trail run in a couple of weeks. I was going to drop the kids off at school and then hit the trails. And it had been a long week of business and family things, just normal stuff, Halloween. making costumes, planning activities. And I was tired. We'd had something the night before that I was in charge of, and I was literally exhausted when I woke up. I'm like, I don't know if I can do this, but I was so looking forward to that trail run. So I'm like, no, I'm going to do this because I love going, and this will be my break. And you know what? As I started out, I gave myself a good long time to warm up when I'm just going to hike. This is a steep part. I'm not going to be running this. But then I got to a part that I definitely normally start running. I started running. I'm like, okay, I'm normally getting in my groove by now. Like, what's going on? And it wasn't happening. I was literally dreading the rest of the run. And I had a good, like 3.5 miles left. And I thought, you know what? I know myself. That's not normal for me. So I just decided, I listened, and I started to just hike at a good pace. And I felt so much better. And I was excited for the rest of my movement, my trail right there. And so it was still movement. It just wasn't what I had planned when I first started, but it was part of accepting that my planned movement for that day was not working with what the current state of my body was in. I needed something less intense because I was tired. And, there are going to be many days where you just need to rest. You need to just say, you know what, this is not a good day for me. So as you do this, I would love for you to work on this concept. Get good at listening to what your body is asking for. Is it asking for more movement, more gentle movement, or just a day of rest when you're really tired? So just the last thing I want to address, and it's just kind of a question for you to keep in mind. So when you think about exercise, when you think about movement, what is your attitude? Is it, I have to exercise, or I get to, or I want to? So that get to, I want to are together as far as having a healthy mindset when it comes to movement, something that you enjoy versus it's something I have to check off my list. It's part of, it's a routine that I have to do, or my day doesn't count, or I'll beat myself up, or, I have to exercise more tomorrow. So this is the question that I want you really to pose to yourself when you start exercising, when you set a goal for movement of some kind. Is it something you're truly excited about, or is it something that you feel like you have to do to check it off? So as always, with any of these principles, it's going to take practice. It's easier, just like dieting is, to have someone tell you, you need to do this. There you go. But you are the expert of you. The extra work will help you to understand yourself better, your body and its needs. So don't give someone else that power. Take it for yourself and learn about yourself and what your body needs. And that is all I have for you. Have a great weekend, and we'll catch you next week. Thanks.